Welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, if you do want to pick up the game, go to the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment. And if you install Raid today, you'll get 50,000 silver. And as well, if you get to day 7, you'll receive an epic champion as a new player in the game. Now in this video, I've got a lot of things to go over, especially because my Jarek, I've developed a lot more since the last video, and really is, well, the stats are going to be amazing to compare off against. But we got a bit of sad news, and man's low on coin. Yeah, I spent all my silver. There's going to be good reasons for this, which I will showcase in this video. But one thing I want to do is try and add some more decent champions to my ever-growing team, which I then absorb into other champions in order to improve other champions. Therefore, it becomes ever-growing. There's a lot of recycling, a lot of sacrificing, as the code word is. But the fact is, I'm going to be opening up some ancient shards, and also I'm going to be opening up these void shards, because man's only got enough coin for this, and maybe some mystery ones. But let's face it, I want to be able to get an epic or legendary. I've got 2 to open here, the ancient ones, and then we're going to move on to the void. Let's kick things off. Hopefully it is. Oh, it's a rare, but that's still cool. We'll kind of like go a little bit more into detail with these champions in a moment. But it looks like speed is the name of the game. Sleep debuff, something I've not come across yet. I've sort of seen stun, but not sleep. And yeah, I'm not too sure with some of these. Like, okay, it's still rare. A rare's a rare. That's fine. Epic, please. That would be good. It's not. It's another rare. Avenger, not the ones you're thinking of, not the Marvel ones. What have we got here? Attacks at random 2 times. Lethal Vortex. That sounds actually pretty cool. Also, we've got Fatal Blow. Attacks one enemy. The skill always inflicts critical hit damage based on attack. Sounds cool. And then we've got attack one enemy has 30% chance to place 30% decreased defense debuff. God, I can't even get my words out. But yeah, still helpful. Like, I really want to pick up an epic or legendary. What can we get from these 3? It is another rare. I kind of feel this may be the scheme of things. Ooh, a paragon. It's a dark elf. I'm interested in putting more dark elves in place. Heal reduction on this one. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 30% chance to placing a 50% heal reduction debuff, a 25% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Damage inflicted is proportionate to defense. That sounds quite cool, actually. Ascended ability. What have we got here? 30% chance to placing 100% heal reduction. Now, I am working on Bone Knight for something like this with heal reduction, but I may be tempted and swayed towards this. Damage control places an unkillable buff for 25% increased attack buff on a target ally for 2 turns. Right, that could be quite cool and quite handy. Maybe interested to develop this a bit further. Power drain, that's exactly what it says on the tin. Let's continue on. Come on, epic and legendary. Hey, we got an epic. What is this? Okay, it's a man-eater. Jeez, I'm thinking of the song. She's a man-eater. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to look at. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna look at this a bit more in a moment. It looks pretty cool. Ancient Blood, level 1, unkillable again. Increase. It's got the aura, so that's helpful. What we're gonna get here? Epic. Hey, it's another epic. This is good. And a Night Sworn. This looks. I don't know. I do like the way that this is put together. It's one of the Sacred Order. The armor profiling on this, as well as the glimmer. Like, you know, you gotta admire the developer on the level of detail when they've got the glimmer as well on the back there with gold. The glimmer, it's pretty nice. And as well, I do like the way it's put together. So let's have a little bit look at this in a moment. But what have we got? Place 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Cool. And then we've got attack when enemy places a 50% decreased attack debuff, 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Cool. Attacks one enemy 3 times, decreasing the target's turn meter by 10%. Again, helpful stuff. I like the look of it. I'll check the stats in a moment, but let's just quick. What do people say in the reviews? Rate quite well. Just to finish off, I'll just open up some of these mystery shards, just until my silver runs out or my spaces for champions is not there anymore. Don't really get anything quite so good from that, but still, it's going to be stuff I can rank up and you know, hopefully try to then absorb into other things, like sacrifice them. That's what we're going to try to do, sacrifice into others. And okay, we need 10 more slots. which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to put it there because how it's going to work is I'm going to absorb a lot of them into other things. So for example, we're going to go to Tavern now. I'm then going to choose one that I'm trying to level up for whatever purpose. Do you know what? I might kind of absorb it into here. Probably not actually thinking about it because I'm working on 3 stars that I'm going to make to then 4 stars, and then they're going to be absorbed to then increase my 5 stars up further. Sorry, 4 stars to then 5 stars, so the epic's becoming 5 stars. That's the plan. This has been a good opening as well because I've not actually picked up anything from this affinity. As you can see, these 3 new that have been added are of a class that I didn't have before, so there are some positives to this. Even though I'm still unsure whether or not any of these I'd like to take any further, but I'm sure that when I kind of have a look at their skills a little bit more in depth, that I'll want to take them up more. And in particular, Paragon interests me with damage control. Place an unkillable buff and a 25% increase attack buff on a target ally for 2 turns. That sounds like it's going to be incredibly helpful. And as well, I probably will look to develop the skill a bit more, especially because the cooldown is going to be really important as well. If the cooldown is -1 and we're talking that that's based on turns, then that's 2 less turns. In 2 turns, you're able to put that buff on, which is just going to be completely spot on. But now, let me talk to you a bit more about what I've been working on. It's later on in the day and I've been putting so much work into these champions. Jareg, we've got Rhyme Beast, we've got Shaman, we've got Hope, but mainly we've got Tyrell, which I've been working a lot on at the moment. Not fully kitted out my artifacts, and there's a good reason for that, which I'll talk about in a moment. But let's go back to Jareg. Jareg is now rocking some amazing artifacts. I've still got to work into how I'm going to have... Am I going to stick with HP and like have life as being the main artifacts? But picked up this legendary gauntlet that was in the market. By the way, shout out to the market. Go into the market, pick up some good stuff. But I do need to level it up. But as we know, we need silver, and that's what I'm going to go on a grind for in a moment. Also, I've been working in dungeons, and that is something we're going to talk about in a second. Rhyme Beast as well is looking good. He is getting close to being ascended. Cannot wait to do that. And as well, look, his artifacts are looking incredible. He's been ranked up, so get that 5-star, get him up higher, and he's going to be an absolute beast. But obviously, we're going to talk about that in a moment. I'm going to take you on a journey. We're going to do some dungeons. We're going to do maybe even a little bit of clan boss as well. But I'm really happy with progression, and at the same time, more work's got to be done with the masteries, so I've got to get into dungeons as well. Let's do this. Now, with any champion improvements, it largely starts with mastery build and then its artifacts, or a bit of both at the same time. Now, to get decent artifacts, I've been going into one of the 3 things: Dragon's Lair, the Knight's Castle, and Ice Golem's Peak. But as well, I've been doing Minotaur's Labyrinth in order to get mastery scrolls. So I thought that's what we'll do. 5 minutes 10 is my normal stage 10 clear. That is very comfortable. Anything more is a bit too much for me at the moment. But still, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, with the build of these champions, artifact improvements, that we can go a bit further. So that is indeed my hope. And High Elves, I think this is the strongest High Elf that I have. You can see there that double hit. He does have one of his skills. He does a double hit, which is pretty cool. See that shielding coming into play? Look at that. They just can't even put a scratch on. And that's something that I want to look at a bit further. As I wanted to do, I think we talked about at the start of this video, where getting Tyrell was the idea that because he had a debuff based effect, or kind of a decrease of attack. If a decrease in attack and decrease of defense are on, he then puts a sleep debuff. I'm pretty certain that is indeed correct, and that is something that I wanted to kind of look at a bit further, especially with this team. Unfortunately, Tyrell is, well, he's gone, he's down. But I think as I start doing more work with that champion, in particular, the artifacts I've got in him aren't particularly great, and that's something to do with test at a later date, is where I improve the masteries, improve the artifacts, and at the same time look to get him up to level 50. Will he be as strong as Rhyme Beast? My duo, my dream team is Jareg and Rhyme Beast, 2 very effective champions that I have. And especially when I'm doing clears of getting those 3 stars from the stage clears, or different stages in the missions or the main campaign, which we're going to give us some tests in a minute. I always know that the champions are doing well if they can clear it with just 2 of them. So that is my indeed hope right here. As you can see, as this fight plays out, Rhyme Beast is healing very nicely. These artifacts that I've got with him, not to mention the fact that his skills are pretty good, are keeping him in the fight longer. This tag team that I've been talking about is really good with Jarrig and as well with Rhyme Beast. The heals are, Jesus, is that 19,000, 13,000 Raging Bull. Yeah. This is when it comes into play that it's just it stacks up quite nicely with those beautiful crits. I think with the mastery build as well has been quite good around these particular champions, and as well what we're going to talk about in a moment of going and getting those advanced scrolls and how that's going to benefit getting those improved mastery points. The next thing is I want to test the Dream Team up against the stages. As I said, hard difficulty is where I'm up to at the moment. I've gone through normal and that's fine. But now I want to test to see if I can get all 3 stars with these 2 champions, because that's how you get the 3 stars total. And I need to push to get the 252 to get my next shot at getting, hopefully fingers crossed, a legendary champion. But still, that's the thing. We have to get past these stages in order to get these 3 stars. And so far so good. You can really see the extent of damage and improvement. I think with artifacts, for the mastery builds, and even if I choose to get some of these up to level 60 or the 6 star, then I'm going to be really happy with clearing a lot of this. But there is, as soon as you go from hard, you go to brutal. So, and hard is hard. Okay, as soon as you start building up your champions, it's great. But I feel that these 2 are some of the greatest champions that I've got at the moment for this. And there will come a point where I have to splinter them off into different sections, where I say, okay, well that's your arena team, that's your clan boss team, and this is a different team for whatever purpose. But this is the thing, they're doing the job. They're doing me a solid at the moment by getting me through content. And so far so good. Look, there's barely a scratch on these 2. And I said combination of decent artifacts, not to mention a decent put up with the ascending, the HP aura skill, that is really important as well. 33% more health is in line for these. And I may choose to in the future change that out, but I feel that HP keeps him in the game a lot longer. So, and look, we've really got up to round 3 very, very quickly. So let's go and try and finish this off. 5k there. These are good numbers. So let's continue this on. There we go. 1 down. Let's go 1 down there. Should have attacked the other one because I had an advantage over that one. But we should be fine. Just look at the health. We've not lost much, if any, health whatsoever. Another hit on there. 2.8k. And then we're going to do another hit there. Take out this last person. It's on lower health, so there we go. Champion is down. Final champion we're going to go up against. 4k damage there. Then 2.3k there. This should be for the win. There we go. So look at that. That is really impressive. I need to see how far I can go with this, how far I can go down before I hit a stumbling block. And it will become a point where I'll need to make and create my champions a lot stronger, especially with these 2, in order to get through and further, just so that I can then say, okay, 252, I can pick up that Sacred Shard down there. And that's my next aim. As I said, the Sacred Shard, 252. We're here in a clan boss fight, and I wanted to give a bit of testing to see how good this is. Because before I used to do about 200k in normal. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more, but the artifacts need to be improved. But it's important to test, is it better? Am I doing better now? Am I not doing better? Those kind of questions. All of these need to be developed further. I've got artifacts for Jag that I need to put up further. I put recently a legendary gauntlet on, and I was like, I need to level that up at least to level 12. So those are plans as well for the future. But let's see, can I do more than 200k this time? So it was around about 190k, 198k at times. So if I can do as much as that, but no, I want to do more. Of course you want to do more. That is the hope. Hopefully I can do that. I can indeed do that. Let's start putting a continuous heal on. And get Rhyme Beast getting all that health back. Staying alive in the game a lot longer. Decrease attack. Which, as you can see, there's something pinged up there for Tyrell. Which, if I time that in right, would I then have got... Is it this one here? resist, resist. I don't know when it was. It pinged up something there that kind of was positive, which we were talking about the idea of that sleep debuff. So I think that was indeed that. Fortunately, one of my champions, which I believe. Okay, critical rating is improved. This means we'll do more damage. It's 6k there. Let's put pack lead on, get some ally protection. And let's try and do a bit of damage. That's a bit of damage. That must be something to do with the Rage of the Bull, which we saw in the previous fight, which is... I'll tell you what, if that's the case, that at this level he can do 10k crits, moving into like 16k, I think is what we saw, then hey, that's good in my books. Right, the buff shield, very helpful. We're not low on health, but it would be, you know, nice to get some more health. And let's do that one there. 9k damage, nice. I haven't had to res anybody at the moment, which is good. They're staying alive in the game longer. Right, so if we put that decreased attack one there, and then the next time that we get to go to Tyrell to use, which is there, we use that one there. I think that does that help out or not? I don't know. Maybe it's immune to that kind of debuff of sleep. Either way, it looks like the health is getting low. I won't be using that because that's all about reviving back people from the dead. So there we have it, 249k damage dealt. I have to make a lot of improvements, and also I have to really think about who I'm using in this particular fight, because there's some that do work quite well and others that maybe don't, but I haven't decided to do anything more with them, so something I've definitely got to work on. Moving now on to Arena. Now I'm having a bit of fun with this, especially trying to build up my medals and then improving the Great Hall. My Great Hall at the moment has a lot more focus onto magic, and the reason that it's focused there is most of my champions are magic that I use. But I do need to diversify. I think that it's not exactly the right way to go down to have just a set team that you just go, okay, well most of them are magic. I just enjoy them a bit more, which is fine for things like dungeons and it's fine for things with campaign, but it's not really good for Arena. Now in Arena at the moment my defense is as follows, but again needs to be improved with artifacts. I need more silver to be spent on said artifacts, so that's something I've got to work, do a bit of grinding. Also same thing with masteries and also improved artifacts in any case. But we've got a good team, we've had successes, we've had victories. A couple of victories to defense, but it's not been great because there's been a lot of defeats. Either way, let's just try and get into a quick battle here. This one was probably going to be a good one, evenly-ish matched. So let's do this. And maybe it would have been better for me to utilize Gorgarab for his increased speed in Arena, but we'll see how we do with this. Especially because one thing I've been a little annoyed with is Tyrell has been knocked out a good chunk of time. He's doing quite well now, but I've been doing a couple of Arena battles and he's been the first to go. So maybe that's something I've got to work on. I've got to make the weakest element of my team one of the strongest. There's a huge amount of crit there. It's taking out one of the enemy's opponents. One of the opponents. We're nearly going to get another one down. This should be a quite straightforward match, which is good, because I have had some ones where it's not been quite so good. Hitting some damage in, ignoring defense. Got a good amount of heal. That's something I think I've got to find a decent healer, and I do have some good healers with Rhyme Beast and Jarek, but it's not huge amounts of healing, which I'd like much more of, especially going into clan boss fights, and just trying to create some kind of strong shields as well, and something that maybe would remove those horrible poison-based debuff effects which come our way. So that's something I need to definitely work on. Now we should, hopefully, there we go, pick up the win. Excellent. Now it's time to talk about my future plans with my grind in game, and there's a lot that needs to be done still, especially for those lead champions, and I feel I want to complete the aspects of what I want to do with them. Number one has got to be improving the artifacts. yeah, I did a big structure for this, and I was like, okay, so I put all of them up to 12. In some cases, they went up to 14. But with Jarek, I then found that I got these 2 new head and gauntlets, the gauntlets being legendary, and I was like, well, these are quite good. But I need now the silver in order to progress them further. So I need to go on a silver grind as well as a grind in dungeons, because it's all about the masteries. And yes, as you can see, I need a lot of advanced mastery scrolls in order to get them up further. Rhyme Beast needs to go up to level 50, and as well at the same time, same thing applies, mastery build, and then as well to a lesser degree. Actually no, I think I'm fine with the artifacts with this, but the Shaman's artifacts have got to go right the way up. They've got to be leveled up, especially if I plan to use this as a team, and I do. And again, same thing applies, mastery improvements need to be done. We've got Hope as well, and Hope needs the same thing, and as well artifacts. Yeah, I've been neglecting the artifacts. Gogorab, unsure about, as I kind of feel that he is good for arena, but I don't really use him as much. And Tyrell is coming in at the moment, and I want to work a lot more on this because he's the first to go. He's the first to die in my battles, and I'm like, well, this isn't really good for me. We've seen this today, where he's just not really as strong, and he would be obviously made better if I then worked a bit harder on him. But that's the plan. A little bit of dungeon grinding, especially at the moment, because I think there's an event on. But dungeon grinding at the moment is important. Minotaur's Labyrinth. We're also going to do either Ice Golem's Peak, Dragon's Lair, or Fire and Knight's Castle. Just pick up that decent stuff. And as well, if I look to ascend any of those champions that I've mentioned, then of course I'm going to get myself into Arcane Keep and any of the types of potion grinding dungeons that I need to go in. Massive shout out to my clan, and it's something like absolutely amazing. Since I started covering Raid Shadow Legends, I just was kind of blown away with the amount of nice people that have come into the clan, people that open up for discussion. I've been in talking from time to time when I'm not grinding out, but I do get a bit of obsessive with this. I'm like, I want to get loads of scrolls, or I want to go and grind up for campaign, or I want to do this. And sometimes you kind of go, oh yes, we've got to talk about doing the clan boss and things like that. But as you know, you kind of feel that I need to improve myself in the clan boss fights and just pick some decent or new champions, improve those artifacts, and see if I can improve on that 249k damage. Compared with the other people that are getting millions, you kind of feel to yourself, right, okay, I definitely need to improve myself. Like, look there, we've got Misanthrope 99 with 6.9 mil damage. So yes, lots of work needs to be done. There we have it. That has been another video on Raid Shadow Legends. If you do want to pick up the game, go to the link in the description or the pinned comment down below, as you'll be able to pick yourself up 50,000 silver, and not to mention Epic Champion as well as part of the new player progression rewards. And don't forget to come back to the channel for more videos on Raid. But thanks very much again for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.